Today, we're going to be talking about the right way to burn a bridge, how we choose the right people to actually be around. A lot of people have said in the past that you are a direct reflection of the 5 people that you hang out with. I believe there's more to that. I believe that they are also a direct reflection of who you are. Because if you decide to have people around you, you're deciding that that is the type of person that you want to be, and then they want to be like you. It's a symbiotic relationship. However, today we're going to cover some of that, how in the long run, we need to understand that as you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, you also need to understand that not everybody deserves to have time being spent with them. You want to make sure that you're around people who actually push you to be better. Because if you don't do that, if you're not actively looking for people to be better, you're going to find that you are going to stay in this mediocre life. And the reason why it's completely accepted and kind of encouraged for the most part is because everybody wants to have the victim mentality, because then it's not on them. So again, this isn't me telling you cut off all your friends. This is me telling you start being selective about who you spend time with. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say I am busy. It is okay to start limiting some of your exposure to people, even if it's family. You have to be around people who actually push you to be better. Don't spend your energy on people who keep you stuck where you are. It's important. We have friends that are meant to be there for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And some friendships are temporary because of where you are in life. Maybe it's back when you were in high school. Maybe even it's back when you were in the military, right? And that is very hard of a pill to swallow, because then we think, well, that's not right. We want to keep them because they are part of us. Some of that is just the memories. Some of that is the beautiful times that you spent together. But you have to understand that you are in a different place in life, and so are they. Your goals show you who really supports you. So if you have big goals in life and you're not scared or kind of intimidated or nervous to share them with someone in your life, then it likely means that this person supports you. I would rather have friends that talk shit to my face. And when I say talk shit, I mean joke around with me. Not necessarily bring you down. That's not what I'm saying. But that joke around with you and then completely support you behind closed doors. Where when you're not around, they still talk highly of you to other people. Because sometimes it's the other way around. We have friends who make us feel nice when we're around them, but behind our back, they talk shit. And we have to focus on friends who actually share your future goals. So if you find yourself in a season that you are trying to get into a healthier body, and you're trying to eat healthier, and you're trying to get your 10,000 steps, and you want to go for a walk, if you find yourself in a season of your life where now you don't want to go to the bar every single Friday and have drinks, or you don't want to go and just waste your time hanging out, you're going to find that there are people that are not on that same path with you, and that's okay. They are on their path. And to be honest, some of it may start showing up as jealousy. Now, why is that? Well, because friends will always support you when you start, because they want that for you. They want you to be happy at the same time, right? But you also have to remember that the moment that you start doing really well, you're going to start to remind them of their failures. And a lot of it is subliminal. It's not necessarily intentional, and it's not even with malice sometimes. But you are going to start to remind them of the reason when they quit, the time when they wanted to do that and they wanted to get healthy and they failed. And remember, when you start getting healthy and you lose 5 pounds and you lose another 10 pounds and you're doing better, and all of a sudden you have a slip up and you gain 5 pounds and you miss the gym for a week, they're going to be there to tell you, see, I told you, it's okay. Take it easy. Trust me, I've tried before. It doesn't work. You're a mom of 3. Of course you can't do it right now. You're going through a divorce. It's okay. See, we think that this is compassion. We think that this is them being there for us. It's not. It's not. It's reinforcing the failure that you just experienced and telling yourself that the failure was inevitable, that it was out of your control. And that's just not true. Anything that you want to do in life, and you guys know this, you've been watching my videos, especially if you're new, you guys understand that I will tell you that I want you to be unrealistic. I want you to be absolutely just massive in your dreams. And then relentlessly pursue them with everything that you have. Your day-to-day, everything should be with intention. From the moment you wake up to the moment that you go to bed, everything should be done with intention. And I want you to know that just because you've known them for a long time, it does not mean you need to be their friend, and that is okay. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm telling you to leave people behind if they are not doing as good as you. Rising tides raises all ships. When you start doing well, there might be people in your circle that start to do well as well. And then you're going to identify those people and they're going to want to latch onto you. And that is perfectly okay. You just have to remember, you can't push them up the hill. You can't drag them up the hill. They have to be willing to walk next to you. If they want to feel motivated and inspired by you and by what you're doing, beautiful. But don't slow down. Don't take their pack. This isn't the crucible. Do not slow down just for other people, because you know what? Eventually, they're going to stop moving on that hill. And you have to keep moving, because if you sacrifice your momentum, your growth for somebody else that isn't willing to walk with you, you have to drag them up the hill. Your potential that is untapped at the moment, you will never fulfill it. And I think that's the saddest thing in life, having potential that you never fulfilled. Everything has a sacrifice, right? So what is the cost of growth? What is the cost of being part of a program, of deciding, you know what, I'm going to get back in shape. I'm going to work on my mindset. I'm going to stop feeling sorry for myself. I'm going to join this program. I'm actually going to start doing for myself. What is the cost? Because everything is a sacrifice. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to sacrifice some weekends with your family. If you want to be healthy, you're going to have to sacrifice that late night binge session. If you want to get a promotion at work, you're going to have to sacrifice that lunch and work through lunch and rub elbows with the right people. Everything is a sacrifice. So what is a sacrifice here? Chasing big goals may mean losing old friends. Growing often means outgrowing those who don't support you. And when they look at you, when they tell you that you've changed, your response to them should be, and you haven't. People typically say that to you because they don't know what's happening with you. They don't understand it. And they don't have to understand it. And again, I'm not telling you to cut off all your friends. I'm just telling you that right now, you are where you are at because of the decisions that you've made. And if you are unhappy with where you are at, if you look at your surroundings, your current situation, believe it or not, your current situation also has a lot to do with the people that you hang out with. And if you are unhappy with it, if you want more from life, as we all should, then you need to learn that it is okay to start cutting people off. It's not going to hurt them. I promise you. You know why? Because it's normal to lose friends as you move forward. I don't talk to anybody from high school, and that is okay. Everybody has their path in life. And if you keep thinking that you're going to walk with somebody else on their path, you are not taking your path of life. You are going to be lost in the sauce eventually, because you know what? Eventually, their path is going to lead them to where they want to be. And if they want to live a mediocre life, if they want to drink every weekend, if they want to live that way and just live paycheck to paycheck, guess where you're going to end up? In the same fucking neighborhood. But if you want more, if you want potential, if you want to grow your life, if you want to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 30 pounds, if you actually start meal prep, if you want to do more in life and get promoted at work and move out of your parents' basement and start your own business and do your own podcast and write your own book, if you want any of these things for you, you have to understand that the cost of growth is letting go of some of those friends. At what point have you put something on your calendar and then you don't respect it because when somebody needs you, and we feel like that is how we give value to people, by always being there for them, which, by the way, is not true. That's just something that we have programmed into our brains because of our time in the military. And again, there's always a gray area, right? There's always people that need us, veterans that need us, people that need to talk to us. Understandable, absolutely. I'll answer that phone call as well if it's an emergency. But not everything is an emergency. Most things aren't. And my point to you is not to ignore everybody. My point to you is that if you have something on your calendar and good old Joey wants to hang out, or he wants to just go to the bar, or even if he wants to go to a game, or if he wants to just do this or do that, and like you have something on your calendar, maybe it's meal prep night. Maybe Friday nights for you is meal prep night. And you're like, no, you know what? I can't because I have this. And then they talk you into it. You've just lost respect for yourself. You failed on your integrity of what you said you were going to do, especially because it was on your calendar. So again, treat your calendar with as much respect as you treat yourself. Put everything on your calendar. And if it's on there, do it. Respect it. Even if you half-ass it initially because you're just getting started and you don't know how to meal prep yet, and you do your best, you're still doing it. There is still progress, because once you can do it, you can't say you can't, right? Once you learn how to meal prep the first time, once you get all the ingredients and you figure out, all right, I just have to look at the recipe, I have to create my shopping list in the app, I have to go to the store or get everything delivered, and I just have to make the meals in these big pans, and I have to package them in the pots, and then maybe use a Post-it note to write which meal it is, and then you're done. You can't say that you don't know how to meal prep anymore. You've accomplished it. We have to have quality over quantity. I would rather have a few good friends that are better than shallow ones who are not. I'm not looking for a whole plethora of people. And I promise you, if you get comfortable being alone, if you get comfortable understanding that right now you are in a stage of growth where you're leaving some people behind who don't understand what you're doing. They don't know why you're this nut health now. They don't understand why you have to go to the gym every other day. They don't get that. That's not the life that they want to live for themselves. As you leave that group of friends behind, that next group of people, you're not around them quite yet. You're working towards that, but you're not quite there yet. So like, there is an area of your life, which I'm experiencing right now as well, that there's going to be a little bit of loneliness. And I promise you, if you get comfortable spending time alone, it's going to help you avoid settling for less. Become comfortable in silence. I don't know what my phone just said. Be comfortable in silence. And then you can be more selective. You can choose friends who add real value to your life. You don't always have to feel like you're stuck in the past or talking over petty drama or just gossiping, because that helps nobody, and it just deters you as a human being of honestly getting better in life. Or you can choose friends who don't only just want to drink, complain, and stay stuck. And by the way, it's actually selfless to let go of friends. Because if you're feeding the relationship little bits here and there and saying, oh yeah, let's hang out and we should do this, and you don't really mean it and you don't really want to, you're keeping yourself in their friend circle. Like, do the selfless thing and let go of that friendship by limiting your exposure, by just saying, no, I can't do this. And eventually they will replace you with somebody else that actually wants to go drinking, that wants to gossip, that wants to just complain about life. But you don't want that anymore. And the reason you don't want that is because you're trying to do better in life. Like, you're not happy with where you're at, and that is okay. It's not like wrong in any way. Healthy friendships need value. When we talk about value, it means actually bringing something positive into each other's lives. I don't hang out with people. I do not just grab a beer with someone. I don't. Like, my calendar is scheduled to the T. And unless someone brings value to me, and you might be thinking, well, coach, that's selfish. What, you don't want to hang out with people just unless they give you value? Yes. You know why? Because I know that I'm going to give them tons of value as well. And I know that if I bring people into my circle that want to give me value, I'm going to not only lift myself up, but they will lift themselves up as well. Because when you hang out with people who want to take value from you, who just want to ask and ask and ask and never give, eventually you're going to feel pretty freaking empty and you're going to have nothing left to give. So I'm looking for people that want to give value. And value could mean friendship, connection, conversation, support, like a lot of different things. But it doesn't have to be drinking at the beer, bitching and moaning and complaining about life. That is not value. Good friends actually make you feel good about yourself and help you grow in different ways. They challenge you. They don't tell you what you want to hear. They don't talk down to you either. They don't tell you, oh, well, you're going to fail. No. But they also don't just prop you up in front of you and then talk shit about you behind your back. And value is mutually beneficial. Like I said, both sides will feel enriched as the end result of it. And we have to make sure that we set very high standards, not just for us, but for the people that we bring into our lives. And we have to let go of those toxic friends that only are going to bring us down. And you guys all right now know of that one toxic friend that you make excuses for, of why you have to look out for them. Like, why they have to be the person that, well, she has all these problems or he has all these problems and, he needs me because if I'm not there for him, like, I just don't know, right? Like, are you enabling that person? Like, are you the reason why they don't want to get better? Because at the end of the day, they can always rely on you. and all they do is complain, but yet they don't change their circumstances, you're not doing anything good for them. You've tried. You've tried to motivate them. You've tried to talk to them, but your friendship should motivate you to be a better person. So if you're not doing that for them because you can't or they don't want to, like, it's not a friendship. They're latching on to you because they need someone to talk to. And I'm sorry, but you're not a therapist. You can be a good friend. It can be a good conversation. But I'm going to tell you the hard truth that maybe you don't want to hear. But the last time that you did not follow through with what you said you want to do because of someone toxic in your life, a friend, even a family member, you ended up resenting them. Don't do that to yourself or to them. Start limiting your exposure. Start telling yourself that I'm not only going to let go of people, I'm not telling you to bash them. I'm not telling you to block them, delete them. If you have to, okay. But I'm telling you, work actively on bringing new people into your life. But you can only bring new people if you start making space for them, right? We have to let go of those people, right? And again, you don't have to be mean or cruel. You can just sort of stop responding to text messages or reply with shorter messages. They'll get the hint. Give less of yourself since they are taking so much. And over time, they will move on. You don't know anyone an explanation. You need to put yourself first because you know why? Your children, your family, they're all dependent on you to do that. Because when you put other people first before you, you are telling yourself that you come second, your family comes third, and everything else comes fourth. And it doesn't work that way. You cannot pour from an empty glass. You have to take care of yourself. Now, how do we do this? We set some boundaries. Not every friendship stuck in the past needs to end. Okay? Letting your friends grow is easier said than done, absolutely. And sometimes you might be the only person to push them forward. But you can still set boundaries to protect yourself and grow, which means that maybe you only hang out with them once a month. Maybe you avoid only talking about the past, complaining, gossiping, or drinking. Maybe you say that if we're going to hang out, okay, let's go for a hike, let's go for a walk. And then before you know it, maybe this person does do these things with you. And not every friendship needs to end if it's stuck in the past. You can move it forward, but again, only with the right energy. It doesn't mean spend all your energy on it. It just means use the right energy and start allowing yourself to bring new people into your life. And you have to take control of your circle. Like, look at your current friendships. See in this group who's helping you grow. Who do you want to water more? Who do you want to kind of feed that relationship a little bit more? And be willing to let go of friends who hold you back. And then I want you guys to truly, just like everybody here in the Savage Squad, surround yourself with people who inspire you and challenge you. Now, before we get into Q&A, I want to add a little bit more here. In life, we get one. Like, that's it. You don't come back and repeat it. Maybe you believe in some other, monk stuff. That's cool. But I'm telling you, like, in this life that you're living right now, like, this is the one that you have. And at the end of the life, you are going to look back and you're going to have either all this untapped potential or a beautiful life that you lived. And I will be damned if I allow you guys to tell yourselves that, well, next year or next time, or I'm not ready yet, because you are. You're here. You're present. You're showing up. You signed up. You gave a damn. And now what has to happen is you have to actively work on changing things in your life, because this is not just about fitness. This is about changing your circumstances in your life, creating everything around you that you can to make sure that you win, because that's all that matters at the end, winning. And it doesn't mean be cruel. It doesn't mean be an asshole. It means be so loving to other people and to yourself that you understand that there are friendships that you are not giving them anything and they are not giving you anything. In fact, you're both taking from each other because you keep deleting your plans because all of a sudden someone says they want to hang out or they need something. And then before you know it, you end up resenting them because you don't have fun. You end up freaking hungover and the next day is kaput. Let go of that. And even if it's family, start limiting your exposure to them. I'm not saying be mean to them. I'm just saying you have to understand that the people that are living around you and in your life and near you, they know a little bit of you, but they don't know everything. And the longer that you keep them around, the longer that you keep feeding them a little bit of hope of like, oh yeah, we'll hang out, we'll do this, do that, you're holding yourself back too, because you're lying to yourself if you don't even mean to do it. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for today.